Welcome to the introduction to Raspberry Pi 2. This is going to be a series of tutorials and videos explaining how we can use our Raspberry Pi, and we're going to be exploring it as a LAMP server for use with dynamic websites, and we're going to split off into different other projects along the way. So this is going to be a series of recordings and tutorials that you'll be able to follow through and find useful information as I go through and build projects for you. So very first thing of all, we need to start right at the start. So this is for absolute beginners. Well, one of the first things we need to know is, well, how do we purchase one of these devices? Where do we purchase one of these devices, and what sort of devices do we want? Currently, the Raspberry Pi 2 is available, and it's been a stable workhorse using a quad core and with a gig of RAM. It actually has more memory space and actually more processing power than Raspberry Pi B+. But if you're looking for a cheaper board, you could go down to that or to the Raspberry Pi A boards. It all depends on what you would like to spend. But for a prototyping board and for a board to develop and a board to use in IT, I recommend getting the Pi 2. It's a very useful, powerful board, and one of the best places to actually purchase this from is from Elements 14. These are a good supplier in Australia. They're able to get them to you fairly quickly if you need to get them. Also, they generally have a good discount on them as well. But if you don't want to get it from Elements 14, shop round and find a distributor that can supply them to you. So let's head off to Elements 14 and have a look at the website. Notice that it's an au.element14.com website. If you go element14.com.au, you end up with a different website. So make sure you use the correct URL. So this is the Element 14 website. When you log into it, notice what I said before, make sure you're looking for the au.element14.com website. And when you come in, you notice at the moment that you've got the new Raspberry Pi 2. It's 6 times faster, and there's some little details about that. You can click on the order now if it's on the screen, but if you're not there and it's not there, just type in Raspberry Pi, and it'll bring up everything we need to know. And as you go down through here, you can see there's some different ones that we can look at. What we're going to be looking for is the Raspberry Pi 2. And it's a Model B, 1 gigabyte. So I've just selected that and it's brought me into the website now. Now, as you can tell, it's got the actual Raspberry Pi 2 there, 1 gig of RAM. It actually tells you what the model is and some details about this. If you'd like to select it from the link, it'll actually take you to the page. So currently they're $44.29. I'll just close that. Just talking about distributors. It's currently $789 in stock, and ready in stock for next day delivery. If you go through, you can actually have a look at the different images of it. One of the best things about the new board, going back to one of the first images, is the power area now has been revamped, so all 4 USBs receive full voltage, which is very, very useful. I find when I'm running mine, I've got a keyboard and mouse. I've also got a wireless dongle in one, and also I plug a USB in to save files and documents, etc. onto, as well as an external storage area. I also use a very short RJ45 Cat6e cable to link that to my computer, and you can see my setup or the introduction from another video. So once you come in here, you can actually add it. If you created an account with Elements 14, you can actually log in and register, etc. You can actually buy them. As you go down through here, there's actually some instructions for you. But when we head to the bottom of this page, you can also see some other things you can get as well. You can actually buy a micro SD card. See the micro SD card and the SD adapter. And that will actually come with Noobs on there. Otherwise, you can download the latest version from the website, and we'll be having a look at that shortly. There's some other things you may want to purchase while you're here. It's a good idea to actually have a power supply. There's several different ones that are in here. It's up to you which one you would like to have a look at. The ones that I went with were down here at $13.50 each, which are a little bit cheaper than the ones up the top here. While it doesn't have the different adapters for the different power points, it's up to you to make the correct selection for what you would like to run your Raspberry Pi off. If you don't have enough power and you do run it off a keyboard with 5 volts, sometimes you find it's underpowered and the Raspberry Pi may misbehave while you're doing that. So once you've purchased your Raspberry Pi and you've received it, have a look at my unboxing video. You can actually see what sort of items you may wish to purchase, and I'll put a link into this video to the next one.